need to work on a like middle kick distance game, and I really have to learn to be more patient. If you notice, like when Denkai is losing to me, what he does is he just plays this very dry, bare bones, I'm just going to kind of wait you out sort of game, because if you play in New York City, you know that I don't like waiting. I don't like
get
that
shit
style.
Done. We don't lay back and wait.
It'll completely unravel my game. If you wait too long, it unravels my game. I just don't like it.
We don't like waiting,
and then
motherfucker.
eventually, I lose sight of the prize, and I just start playing really, really badly. So I need to develop a lot more mental stamina and learn to just, when someone's doing that to me, still be able to hold my game together. That's what all the New York guys do. To overpower me. It's like if I'm winning, they just slow it down and just wait, because they know I'm not going to wait. Too. So
you racist motherfuckers, you.
Yeah, GT, you're right. Everyone does need to be a little bit more patient. Compared to how I used to be, like a decade ago, I'm definitely way more patient than I used to be. But still, it's something I need to work on, and I honestly don't know how to change it, but I really have to try. I really have to learn to just be really patient, and patient in a way where my defense doesn't fail me. When the game's moving at a moderate pace or fast, I think defensively I'm very, very strong. But when the game slows down, my defense just crumbles, and I can't figure out why. And that's something I need to seriously work on. And again, all the New York guys know that, and that's what they bank on when it's a tournament time. You can go pull up footage from the past like 4 or 5 years, and you'll see that. Slow it down, and Rodney's gonna crumble every single time. So I gotta work on that. Yeah, I know. I've heard that before. I should really watch some of Kamage's Akira matches, but it's just not my style. That just dry elbow, fuzzy, dashing elbow.
I hate that shit. Boring.
Super dashing elbow.
We don't fucking play that way.
PK, but it's just not my style. It's just too boring. It's boring. I mean,
boring.
VF has so much to offer.
A lot of varieties.
That I just don't. It's just like, why play that way? There's so much to the game, so many layers. Who wants to sit there and just elbow all day? But hey, it wins, and I guess in the end, that's really what it boils down to. But for me, winning is it's important, but it's not like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking jump off a building if I don't win. I want to win, but I want to win my way, and that's the way I've always been. So that's what I'm gonna do. So Kamage's style is not my style. I'm more of like a
give me homestay,
Osu Akira,
or homestay. Give me fucking
where
shoe.
You can be safe, but you still will take some risks.
Fun.
Because that's what's fun to me is
Mumu dance.
making that perfect read. Not just sort of wearing the person down. To the point where the game is just not fun. I want to read the person and. Read when I can yoho, when I can knee,
Fucking random ass Smurf.
But I do need to incorporate some Kamage into my game because in the end, when it comes to tournament time, my style obviously doesn't get the job done.
Boring.
That's why I don't win. So.
But then how the fuck does homestay, like homestay... Like, he's not fucking
well,
like
I
that.
think the reason Homestay does it is if you look at Homestay compared to us, defensively, they're more solid. Yes. And this is where I'm talking about. Like, when the game's moving at a moderate pace or a fast pace, I think that I'm defensively, like I'm really strong. But when the game slows down, my defense crumbles because I'm starting to second guess myself because the person's taking so long to just go.
Do something.
I start second guessing myself.
Do something. They either do something or they don't do something, and they take so
like
long.
Homestay and Osu, those guys, like it doesn't phase them. They're still able to, GT is the same way. Like GT doesn't crumble. Akmal doesn't crumble. Adam doesn't crumble. Denkai doesn't crumble. Like that's the difference between, these high level players. Is
It's a mental difference. It's not a.
I don't know if it's mental. I think it's more just focus. They're able to maintain that focus
Longer.
and not lose themselves in frustration and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm not gonna put this on the mic, but what I don't understand about this is how come you
It's not that I can't put the pressure on. It's just that when I learned to play this game, I did not learn to play this game in that fashion. So I was spoiled. When Hero taught us how to play VF3, we didn't play like this. It was very fast paced. You make your calls, and you go with what's on your mind. Then, Adam came up with his own style of just, it's like, hey, I can't beat these motherfuckers. I'm just going to slow this shit down to the point where everyone gets frustrated and they crumble.
Yes.
And
I love that.
and
That's the East Coast thing in general. Not even just VF, but
for me,
like in 2D games.
Instead of
we have the turtle
instead of
style.
learning how to fight through that style, I actually got frustrated, and I let that style just sort of do me in, and and it mentally, I let it fuck me up to the point where I still haven't quite overcome it, and that's where I went wrong.
It's like.
That's where I went wrong,
It's
Yeah,
like-
that's Adam's style since BF2, man. Like
It's like Gangnam
hey,
Style.
I can't beat you. I'm just gonna low punch and slow this
Gangnam
shit
Style
down
and
to
Adam
the
got
point
Turtle
where
Style.
you'll get frustrated and crumble.
Turtle Style.
Adam will tell you. And again, I didn't try to learn how to defeat that style. I
Right.
just let it frustrate me to the point where I didn't want to play the game anymore. I
You
just
never
started,
overcame.
I never overcame
the turtle.
it. So
basically.
so I've come a long way since then, but I'm still not quite there, and that's what I seriously need to work on, because if I can hold my game together when people slow it down, I would be like 10 times stronger. 10 times stronger.
Yes, because you're very knowledgeable in everything in BF, but.
that I made with you that time we talked on Saturday, right? About
I was playing against Smurf, and Smurf told me, Cruz, you're very good when you're playing at a fast pace.
Right.
But when things slow down.
Right.
And even SDS told me this shit. Cruz, you're good, but if you got to understand that when people are playing a certain way, you have to be able to interrupt
Right. Well, you need
and slow them down.
Well, you need to be able to adapt first,
Yes.
and then second, you need to have different styles for any fighting game you play. You need to have multiple
Yes.
style. One style does not always get the job done.
Can't be a one-trick pony.
Right, you can't, and that's my problem. Like, I need to create a style that can handle very slow-paced fighting. So
Gotcha.
Okay. I always thought.
yeah, exactly. Like GT just said it. Compared to my patience, Tricky's patience has gotten tremendously better, and and that was one of the things like I helped him with. I told him like, this is what you're lacking, and
Fuck you up.
and he does it. Yeah, GT, you definitely have that style. When you're rushing people down doesn't work. Hey, you can draw drag the match out, because defensively you won't crumble. And that's, those are the things like players need to work on. You have to have multiple styles when you play any fighting game. Doesn't matter if it's VF, Street
GT.
Fighter, Mortal Kombat. You have to have multiple styles. And unfortunately, I don't have multiple styles, and that's something I need to acquire.
The thing with Fudo is like, it's like it make the perfect analogy for BF. Not two people play the same character the same way. You beat Ida-san, but then when you got to Fudo, it was a totally different
and,
game.
and that's why you
And
need
that
to have
just-
multiple styles.
And that just represented BF to its maximum.
Right.
Nobody plays the same character the same way. You beat Ida-san, but then you got to Fudo, and it was a totally different ball game.
Yep.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, man. That's just the way fighting game works.
Well-
You have to learn to adapt, and when you adapt, you have to be able to switch styles on the fly.
Yes.
And
Yes. Well, Rodney, that's why I said even if BF6 or whatever comes next is released simultaneously, we do not have like an arcade scene. We do not have Like we have a lot of people, but it's just so fragmented that we would not have the same amount of players and the same amount of playtime as the Japanese would have to catch up, even if we had the game at the same time.
I think I think the problem, like, we can catch up to the Japanese. GT proved that. GT proved that we can catch up to the Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest problem we have is we don't have enough I don't know what to call it. I guess character coverage or whatever. There's still so many
variety.
things. There's still so many things, like we don't know about Eileen. We don't know about Shun. So I didn't feel like I was dominated going up against Itazan Shun. It's just that the tricks that he was using, I never saw them. And that's the biggest problem America has, versus the Japanese. There's so many players for each character that there's so many different styles and so many different techniques are created that the moment they see something, they know how to react to it. And we don't.
The way I feel, like, I agree with you. The way I feel is like, no matter what we think we know, they already seen it 100 times. They already seen it, done it, been there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the moment we show them something, they already know how to react to it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nothing new to them.
Well, because we're copying what they were doing like 2-3 years ago. So
yes,
and that's the biggest hurdle we have at VF is, we obviously can catch up to these guys. It's just that when we do get a chance to play them, they're doing shit that that's new to us, and we're doing shit that they saw like 3 years ago.
They've been seen that.
It doesn't work.
I've been seen that.
More
Show
people
me something new
to develop new things, and we need to share the information, but America doesn't work that way. It's like, hey, I know something that beats this person. I'm never going to tell people. And that's the point I was trying to make, like with Denkai when we got into, our little beef earlier. When I used to beat Denkai, and you can even, you can ask Tricky this. Tricky would be like, dude, I don't know what you're doing and how to beat you. I would be like, well, maybe in this situation, when I low punch, you should like backdash and do this. And he's like, oh, yeah, I never thought of that. And, like, he'll do it, and it works, But Denkai knows, like, what I'm doing wrong, but he won't share that. He'll say he does, but he won't. He'll just blatantly point out the obvious. Oh, well, you're reacting too slow. Dude, please. Everyone knows I react too slow, but there's a specific thing that you're doing that's crippling my game. And you will not share that because you're just thinking about winning. And you just want to win the tournaments, which is cool. But it's like, if you really want us to get to that level and you really want to test yourself, then share the information, because that's what I do. That's what GT does.
If you get better, I get better.
Exactly.
You push me to get better.
But again, it's all good because it just fuels me to really, once I get a couple of things done in my life, it just fuels me that when I come back, I'm going to take GT's advice. I have the adaptation. I know I can adapt well to anything people's doing. And I have the knowledge. It's just that my game is kind of fucked up. It's all over the place. It's not structured right. I don't fuzzy guard when I'm supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't throw when I'm supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't punish 15, minus 15 things.
Yes.
My game's all over the place. So I need to work on those things, and and I'll be a more sound player. But
This is coming from a man who got 5th at Sega Cup. Fuck you.
Fuck you. I got.
What up, SDS?
I got 5th at Sega Cup because honestly, I had a little bit of luck. And really, if it wasn't for,
SDS, what up, my nigga?
Adam, GT, Denkai, like, in my corner, I probably would have I never would have made it to the top 16. So
listen, I told you back then over there, good shit. Proud of you, motherfucker.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right.
I couldn't have asked for, like, a better place. I mean, I wish I could have beaten Chofu, but I didn't. But still, coming in 5th is way better than I thought I would.
Out of 3 Japanese players and like 97 motherfuckers. Good shit, man.
Yeah. So, but that's the like I was saying earlier, the things we need to work on is people really need to think outside the box with their characters. Develop new shit that that nobody's ever seen.
What up, SDS?
And they need to share that shit with people. You know what I mean? They need to share it because sharing the information, the thing you develop, and seeing if someone can beat it only makes you stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But holding on to it and no one knows how to beat it, when someone eventually does beat it, you're fucked. You're fucked.
Damn right.
Because now you don't know how to counter them beating your ass or beating
what
that
to
shit
do
that you
after
came up
that
with.
shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you should share the information, but
See,
that's just my
that's
thought.
Ronnie, that's why I gave mad respect to fucking GT. Because I never seen a motherfucker that was so good at a game. If you met GT, you wouldn't know he was that good.
Look,
because this nigga's mad humble.
Yeah, he is mad
Straight
humble.
motherfucking up.
He mad. It's funny because I didn't know what
humble.
to expect. I didn't know what type of person he is.
Mad
but he's actually
motherfucking humble.
He's actually very humble.
I'm telling you right now, this motherfucker. Well, I mean, people might say like, "Girl, Cruz, what the fuck are you talking about?" But like when we walk out of the restaurant, like GT was like, "Oh yeah, Cruz." He kind of rubbed my back, and I was like, "Yo."
He's probably not humble when he poses. He's an asshole, but in person, he's humble. He's very humble.
Hey, asshole.
And I was like, "Why this motherfucker?"
Look,
rubbing my back.
If you ask me,
I suck.
If you ask me,
don't rub my back. I suck.
GT shared the information he shared because he's not stupid. He knew after Evo. This is just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but after after how well he did at Evo, he realized like, look, for me to get to that next level and be able to beat these fuckers,
I want everyone else to kick my
I have
ass.
to let people know what I know to really test myself, to bring them up another level so I can get to that next level. And that's what he did. Because if GT didn't talk about meetings, I to this day still would not know what the fuck a meeting is. Because
I don't know what a meaty is.
I wasn't looking for those things.
Well,
I was
what's a
just playing
meaty?
the game
What's
based
a meaty?
on what I know about VF.
I don't fucking know what a meaty is. Steak.
GT did the best thing he could possibly do to grow as a player, and I will share the information. And that's what we all need to do. When you're beating your homeboy down, don't just beat him down because maybe
Tell him why he's doing
he's
wrong.
been beating you for the last year, and now you have that edge. You gotta let him know, like, dude, I'm beating you because you're doing this.
Did the boss come in and tell us this is on?
If you change this about yourself, it'll make you better, and then in turn, that'll make me better. Because now I have to think outside the box, and I don't have to keep playing like a robot, doing the same shit over and over. That's gonna beat you. That's just my 2 cents.
There it is.
But anyway, guys, we got to get ready to wrap it up. I will try to show up next week and maybe chat a little bit more VF, but it's really hard to get this couch potato
He needs a ride.
away from his 50-inch TV, and I also need a ride because I will not fucking take the subway here. Fuck
he ain't
that.
riding.
I'm not riding an hour and then like an hour to get here and then like 2 hours to get back home. So
How
fuck
the fuck
that.
is an hour to get here, man?
Yeah, it takes me like an hour to get here by subway. And
are you
then
taking?
at this hour going back home, fuck, it can take like 2 hours, man. Fuck that.
By the way, SDS, whenever you
SDS,
got free, motherfucker, get your ass over here, motherfucker.
You're one of the few people that actually will tell somebody what
Miss
you're
you,
doing to beat 'em.
motherfucker.
But I've been asking Denkai for like 3
No
or 4
homo,
years now.
motherfucker.
So Denkai, what is it that you're doing that you're completely crippling my game?
I don't know,
I don't know, man. You're just reacting
miss
too
your
slow.
punk ass.
Nigga, please. I'm not just reacting too
Pork
slow.
chop, motherfucker.
But you know what? Whatever. All good. All good.
SDS, what's up, man? Whenever
Oh,
you
there
can
you
show
go.
up, show
SDS,
up.
you said it. It's all about
Punk
getting
ass
over the
motherfucker.
hump. Once I get over the hump and I figure it out, he's done. He's
Gonna be
done.
Up in that ass,
He's
twisting
done.
the knife all day.
He's done.
twisting it and winning it. But there ain't nothing like getting your ass beat and being like, yo, so what happened? Especially when you get beat like, bad, then you know. You know it's not just something simple.
Exactly. Trust me, me losing, 10-7 is not just me reacting slow.
No.
It's not. It's not just me reacting slow
guys
because
ready? Do you want
I adapt. But there's something to the core
SDS.
of my game that I'm doing
I have to
wrong
agree with Ronnie about this.
that that he's abusing and that's beating me. I just need to figure out what that is because if
It's not reaction.
it's not reaction
You know
because
what?
I'm
okay.
my whole game.
I'll give you an example. I'm a blind motherfucker, right? And Ronnie can contest to that. And the thing is, I got so many people who try to grab me, and I nailed them with the knee. And I guarantee you, I can't see that throw coming. And I nail everyone with the knee every
because
single fucking time.
My game's all about adapting. I try to to always adapt to what the player is doing, no matter what. I don't like that, and I guess that's why my game is not structured, because I don't really have a pattern of my own.
Yes.
It's like the moment it goes, ready, go. I'm looking at what you're doing, and what can I do to shut this motherfucker's game down, period. That's all I'm looking for. And if I can find one move that can do it, that's what I do. And then if they switch, I may lose, but by the next match or by that second or third match, I've already adjusted to what you've switched to.
Well,
but there's a core element to my game that I'm doing wrong.
I'm not going to say nothing
that they're not telling me about.
But I heard someone from the West Coast say that
you're right, GT.
East Coast cats, like New York cats, they don't fucking they don't. They don't like to share information. Just say it, spit it out. They don't like to share information. That's the problem with East Coast. It's like the Street Fighter days. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they learn like unblockable combos and nobody wants to share it. But I will work on structuring my game, and I will work on max damage combos like BG said. But anyway, we got to wrap it up, guys. What are you talking about, Harold Hero? Show up.
Norm, if I'm coming, you need to come.
You fucking punk ass. I love you.
But anyway, we got to wrap it up. We're getting kicked out of here. Guys, it was a pleasure. I'll definitely try to come down next week, like I said, because although I don't play as much anymore, it is a lot of fun talking VF with everyone. So if you guys have any specific questions or shit you want me to talk about, I don't know, PM me or whatever, and I guess I'll try to answer it on next week's stream.
I mean, King Boss.
I'll see y'all later, man. Later, GT. And stop being so humble. Be an asshole like Denkai.
Listen, stay humble, motherfucker.
Nah, be more like Denkai, man.
Yeah,
Make the
be
game
more
fun.
like Denkai.
Make the game fun.
Be more like Denkai so I can be fuel to crush you, motherfucker.
And I'm coming for all your asses.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I am Denkai. I am the best.
Fuck that, GT. Stay humble, because when you're humble,
it
makes it all the better. Like, you beat their ass and you're humble, and it just makes it better than talking shit. This was fucking fun. Hey, somebody.